So, it's no surprise at this point that I've been out of the community for a while. However, recently at the inspiration of everyone's favourite SSF2 YouTuber Bowler, I've decided to come back to the YouTube scene for this game. So, let's take a look at what this little series is going to be like. SSF2 Rebalanced is not currently a mod pack. Will it be a mod pack? Possibly. Not quite sure yet. However, this will remain a complete thought experiment with some occasional modded footages in order to demonstrate the ideas as more than just a simple proof of concept. Once the series is done, I might release a .zip file in order to allow you to play the full Rebalanced mod pack. However, now that I took a headfirst dive into the modding scene, I doubt that I'll be a particularly free person considering I have outside commitments and I'm a project leader on SSF2 Delta. But Tenebrae, I hear you ask, somewhat confused. What exactly is the difference between SSF2 Delta and this? Well, in order to better explain that, let's have a look at some of the ground rules I'm going to be using for this series. Ground rule number 1. Unless the character is what I like to refer to as a post-turtle, the fundamental game plan of the character should not be changed. Post-turtles are commonly used analogies in politics, as well as other areas, likening something to a turtle on the post, in that it wasn't supposed to be there, it doesn't know what it's doing up there, it was never a good idea for it to be put there, it didn't get there on its own, and you have to wonder whose idea it was to actually put them there. A good example of a post-turtle in Super Smash Bros. 2 is, in my opinion, Sonic from SSF2 Beta 1.0.2. In this version, Sonic didn't possess a lot of the tools needed for the character to play in the way he was supposedly built around being hit and run, but he also had a pretty lackluster normals overall outside of his down tilt, neutral air and forward air, as well as a pretty weak set of throws and specials outside of homing attack. So crucially, he didn't really have much capacity to rush down opponents or time them out in a similar vein to Smash 4 Sonic, because his moves did not allow him the capacity to do that. This led a lot of Sonic's gameplay in the early days to not really have a set game plan due to this, because his moveset just didn't really allow it. Granted, Sonic's still pretty poor overall in SSF2 Beta 1.1, but we'll get to him in there, but he seemed to actually have a bit more of a game plan this time around. However, as I've said, this is not completely reimagining SSF2 in the same way Delta does, in where my signature when it comes to character balance often involves full reworks, most notably Lloyd and Isaac in SSF2 Delta. However, with this, my aim is not to completely redesign a character, but simply improve the existing tools and game plan they were already given. Ground rule number 2. No new moves. Well, in a similar vein to ground rule 1, I'm not going to be granting any characters any new moves, like in my pick concept for SSF2 Delta, sneak peek for anyone who's not played it, Pit's up air and forward air are single hit moves. There's another example on the more well-known side of SSF2 Delta. Yoshi's entire moveset has been revamped. Changes like the former are unlikely, and changes like the latter will not happen in this series. I'm not doing anything major, and the characters should still feel the same way as they do in vanilla. This does unfortunately mean we don't get any of the cool Delta-style transform cancels, which sucks, but, you know, we'll just have to see what we can do with 1.1. Ground rule number 3. In terms of the public build, and I hope it's only a public build for their sakes because I wouldn't know, I'm not a developer, engine changes are a nightmare to code in, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't really understand it myself. The idea is that I'm rebalancing everyone to succeed in 1.1's environment, not an entirely different environment. The only change I will ever consider adding is fixed grab teching. Honestly, that feature was implemented terribly, and I seriously hope that in the next patch that it actually works like a conventional throw tech in a fighting game where it resets the opponent back to neutral. Jeez. Ground rule number 4, the balance standard. I'd say that my aim in terms of balancing characters would be that they're about as good as around maybe 8 to 10 on the tier list. In 1.0.3.2, this was much easier to determine as I thought that Fox was the most solid character balance-wise in that demo. However, I'd now say that a good shout would probably to be making each character roughly around the same as 1.1 Chibi Robo's level. This does not mean that Chibi Robo will be completely exempt for any changes, though. So, there will be a video on that. I'm not going to just throw away Chibi Robo because, yeah. So, with that out of the way, expect more content coming from me in the near future. Huge props to Bowler for helping me get my window capture working properly, giving me the idea to sort of drop back into the SSF2 scene with this, and for the rebalanced logo that you see on the top left. Hopefully, I'll be around more soon, and we'll be able to get a couple of characters rebalanced. See you soon. Bye-bye.